never think that you're gonna get a nickname. He said, somebody's already called Dr. J, somebody's already called Big E. I want to call it New Magic. And you know, at 15 you giggle. Yeah, right. And sure enough, headlines in the paper the next day, Urban Magic Johnson leads Everett High School. So that's how I got my nickname, Magic. 2 years later, I led that school to the state championship and we won. I got recruited to go any college in America, but I wanted to stay home and go to Michigan State so my family could see me play. Go green, go white. And so my freshman year, we go all the way to the Final Eight and we get beat by Kentucky, who actually end up winning the national championship. Had a big decision to make, whether to turn pro or come back to school. Everything I wanted to achieve in life, especially in college basketball, I had not achieved that, which was to win an NCAA championship. So I came back to school and we go all the way. You got a nice jersey on. Come on, get a selfie with that jersey. What's your name? Julie. Julie, where you from?
Shirley.
All right, so Julie, hold my hand right quick, Julie. So Julie, this is what happened. So we go all the way. So Julie, we go all the way to the national championship game and I'm playing this blonde haired dude. I still hate him today. And he had led his school to a 33-0 season. Who does that? Right? And I'm gonna say 1, 2, 3. You guys gonna holler out his name. 1, 2, 3. I still hate him. So, Julie, on that Monday night, we played the Birdman in Indiana State, and Michigan State had to take the Birdman down, right? And so we won the national championship. Now it's time for me to turn pro. And when I decided to turn pro and I knew the Lakers had the #1 pick, I was so happy. I'm getting ready to play with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the most dominant center in all of basketball. And this is what happened, and this is gonna go to your business. See, my first practice, this is important, so listen to this. My first practice as a Laker, the coach said, practice is at 10, I got there at 7. See, if you want to win in business, you got to be there early. If you want to win in business, you have to be here for 3 days, retain the information, and then go back and apply the information. Now, the young man was on stage talking about a special for $1.99. If I was in this audience, I would have bought that tape. Because the more information I have, the more successful I can be. See, I'm a student of business. I can learn from all of you. I can learn from a lot of people. So I, like a sponge, I want information. So remember that. What you have learned here this weekend. Go home, get your team on board, and apply that information. Right? And so, yes, Vegas is a good time. But good time can't pay no bill. Good time can take you to another level in your business. So remember that. So when I think about my own journey and that first practice for the Lakers, I'm gonna get there early because I want to work on my game. Plus, I want to impress veterans of the Lakers, and I want to impress the coach, but I'm there to work on my game because I want to get better. 3 days in a row. Stand up, my man. What's your name?
Mason.
Where you from?
Iran.
Oh, okay. Man, you came a long way.
Yes,
You learned a lot?
I did. I did.
Very cool, very cool. So, take your glasses off. All right, stand over there. Yeah. Take this off too. We gotta see what you can do. First, we're gonna get a picture. Now stand over there. Now remember, my chest is up here. You got a chest bump. Stop. You know he didn't make it. Like, give me some knuckles. We ain't gonna try it again. You may hurt yourself. So after the third day of showing up to practice, the coach on the fourth day said, "Rookie, come here. How many days you been showing up early?" I said, "Coach, this is my fourth day." He blew the whistle and he said, "Guys, this rookie been coming here to practice 3 hours early. I want everybody to start coming to practice early." Nobody liked me after that. But I'm gonna tell you what happened. The Lakers hadn't won a championship in over 10 years. Now check this out. Because everybody started showing up early, they improved. The Lakers, that team, we go all the way to the NBA championship. See? So what am I telling you? You gotta put the time in. You gotta put the time in. And you have to make sure every year you improve. All right, I want you to take out your phone and write something down. This is very important to your business. Or if you got some paper, write it down right quick. Come on, right quick. Put the phones down because I want you to write this in your phone. Are you ready? All right. Here we go. SWOT. That's a SWOT. Strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats of your business. I want you to, on the plane going home, I want you to say, these are the strengths of my company. These are the weaknesses. Next year, when you come back to that conference, this conference right here, you're going to move the W column over to the S column. Now, the hardest thing in life is taking self-evaluation of yourself, and you have to be honest with yourself, or your business will not grow. See, every year I take a SWOT, twice a year, as a CEO and as a man. I want to be a better husband to my beautiful wife. I want to be a better father. So I'm trying to get better and better and better. But I don't lie to myself. I know the things I need to work on, and I know the things I'm strong at. So make sure you take a SWOT. And I'm going to tell you why I said that. I bought a business. I evaluated and vetted my staff. I took a SWOT and found out I didn't have the right team in place. So I had to remove that team and put in the right team, and my business took off. And now that business is doing over $1 billion. But if I didn't do the SWOT, I wouldn't be in that situation. It would be going this way instead of going this way. Very important. And do a SWOT on yourself. Right? My wife told me, said, "Baby, you so busy, we don't have date nights." I said, "Oh, man." You know, when your wife come at you and she says something like that, your heart just sinks. Right? I said, "Oh, I got to get better." So now on Fridays and Saturdays, a movie or dinner, and then we go to church on. Okay, baby, I took care of you? Okay, I'm good now. So, Now, raise your hand if you're gonna do this swap, because it's important. It's important. And it'll take you and your business to another level. So, after winning 5 championships with the Lakers, going to the finals 9 times in 12 years, playing against Larry Bird all them time, and a dude I still hate. Man in the blue, stand up because you're tall. Wow, real tall. Man, I didn't know they had this many tall people in real estate. Where you from? What's your name?
Outside of Washington, D.C.
What's your name?
David.
David, how your business?
It's going. It's good.
You gonna make sure it get better? Short dude right there, come on. Come on up. Take a picture with him. Come on. Come on, somebody gotta take a picture for him. Who gonna take a picture? Short girl? Okay, come on, short girl, since you said it. I didn't know you was this short though, man. And what's your name?
Quentin,
Quentin, where you from?
Woodbury, Connecticut.
Okay, you're a Sixer fan, I see.
Yeah.
They gonna do it this year?
Hopefully.
Okay. All right, now he was tall enough, he didn't have to do a chest bump because, man, we could just bump like this. But you gonna have to jump, so take your badge off. So we're gonna see what you can do, if you got some hops or not. What y'all think? There we go. You was up high, man. All right, come on, let's get a picture. Who's taking what picture? Come on, shorty. What's your name?
See?
And who is this?
Palmy.
Your sister. I only called you up. So what's your sister doing here? High five. All right, yes. So, why did I say that about Larry Bird? This is important. I hate him because he's so good. And listen to this. Listen, because this is important. Your competitor can make you better. We all got competitors. Larry Bird may be a better basketball player. Larry Bird may be a better man. He made me apply myself even more because I knew he was working on a new shot, a new move. I had to work on a new shot, a new move. What's up? Come here and give me a hug. You don't get no high five. I got a hug. Turn around. Let's get a picture. Go get it and take a selfie. Go get the phone. Go get the phone. Let's give her a hand right quick. Come on. Come on. Take a selfie. Take a selfie. Yeah. So, don't be afraid to talk to some of your friends here and say, hey, what's been working for you? See? What's been working for you? How can I apply that to my own business? You know why I achieved what I achieved in basketball? Because I was stealing from guys. No, true story. Oscar Robertson. See, George Gervin, all the greats before me, I was watching them and taking their moves and putting it in my game. Today as a businessman, I can learn from other people, and I do learn from other people. If it's gonna make me a better businessman, I'm going for it. So don't be afraid to ask your colleagues, hey, what's been working for you in your market? Maybe I can do some of the same things in my market. Okay, so the first thing I did was a deal with Sony and built Magic Johnson Theaters. I did the numbers and found out that minorities were the number one group of people going to the movies, but there was no theaters in our community. So I met with a guy named Peter Gruber, who was running Sony at that time, and said, hey, let's build theaters in urban America. And we did that deal, and the first theater, the guy, the procurement person of Sony kind of disrespected me. He thought I didn't know business. And this is very important to all of you as well. So he said to me, I said to him, brother, how many hot dogs do we have for opening night of my first theater in Los Angeles? The same amount you have in suburban theaters, we're gonna give you. I said, okay. So we opened the theater up on that Friday night. Now he got enough hot dogs for a month. This is the same amount they have in suburban America. We sold all the hot dogs out on Friday night. Because what he didn't understand about us as minorities, we're not going to dinner and a movie. We're going to have dinner right at the movies. Again, what am I telling you? Know your customer. Write that down because that's important. Know your customer. Who are you going after? Who do you want in your building? See, that's very important. So that's why I asked him that question, because now I'm out Saturday morning at a grocery store buying hot dogs because of a mistake he made. Also, too, we don't drink Coke. We had to put flavors in my theater because that's what minorities grew up on: Kool-Aid, strawberry, grape, orange. But let me tell you what, my per caps was some of the highest in the industry. My first theater came in top 10 highest grossing theaters in the nation because I knew my customer. Okay? So, we sold that. I went up to Seattle, knocked on a guy's door named Howard Schultz, because I was looking at a line outside this coffee place called Starbucks. I said, man, what are they serving in there? Because, you know, I'm not a coffee drinker, so I didn't know. So I had to ask some people, what's going on? What's this line around the block? He said, man, this is the best coffee in the world. I said, okay. Let me start doing my research. Sure enough, I flew up to Seattle, knocked on the guy's door named Howard Schultz, chairman of Starbucks, and I said, hey, stand on up with the Michigan State on. I like that. What's your name? John?
John Hawthorne from Michigan.
Okay, what you got for me? Go ahead, tell me what it is. Go ahead, tell me.
Student season ticket from 1979.
Well, you got to sign it. I got to sign it. Come on, Hold on, stop, 1 second, stop. Check this out. But it's nice though. It's like brand new. How you keep it this well kept up?
21 years old, and I wrote national champion on the back, put it in my scrapbook.
That's right. And check this out. You all thought we were just making real estate dreams today, right? look what happened. Give me your pen, my man. You'll hold it.
Remember the Ohio State game when they came in 8-0, we were 4-4. You got hurt. You went in there, and the biggest thing at Jenison ever. Unbelievable moment for anybody that was there. I'll never forget it.
Come on, Mr. Ryan. Come on, Steve. Come on, give it up for him. Come on.
Yeah.
Shaking too. You shaking right now.
I used to see over at Wilson Hall. That's right. I was at home. Walking down the street, getting everybody high fives or a little back.
I was still smiling there, wasn't I? A lot more hair. I had a fro. it's a pleasure meeting you. I mean, this is crazy. It is a pleasure meeting you. Give it up for him one more time. Come on. Wow. Oh, God, do this. This God is so good. Man, all the time. Man. Oh. How did I know to walk that way, too? It's crazy. So when I think about it, this is what happens. Stand on up, my man. What's your name?
Oscar from Tennessee.
From Tennessee. So, Oscar, this is what happened, Oscar. Who you with here? Your wife, Jennifer? Not you, yeah. So, Oscar, I went up there to Howard shows and I said, you know, minority, we drink coffee too. So we got to build Starbucks in urban America. And so get a picture right quick, Oscar. Cool, Oscar. Give me a chest bump. So I told him we drink coffee too. Now this is very important, so listen to this real quick. Jim, stand on up because I'm going to involve you. So Jim, they said, no way minorities are paid $3 for a cup of coffee. Jim will pay $3 for a cup of coffee. We quite don't know what scones are though. So I had to take the scone Jim out of my Starbucks and put in sweet potato pie, pound cake, sausage cake, things that resonate with the urban consumer. Now, check this out. Because I made that tweet, just tweaked it just a little bit, my per caps were $4.59, his per cap $4.51. I was doing better in my urban stores than he was in suburban stores. What's your favorite music group, Jim?
YouTube.
YouTube. So I had to take YouTube out of my Starbucks. Earth, Wind and Fire, Prince, Michael Jackson. Now let's get a picture of Jim. Jim, I know your legs is kind of weak, so you're going to have to jump right here. Go ahead. I'm not saying you're old. Come on, give me a chest bump. So, why did I say that? Know your good. Audience, know your customer. If I had kept the scones in, my per caps wouldn't have been high. If I kept the music in, my per caps wouldn't have been high. So what am I telling you to do? Write this down real quick. Because see, always remember, when you can get information from somebody, grab it. Over-deliver to your customer. Over-deliver to your clients. Over-deliver to your partners. See, I always thrive on over-delivering. And then I will get the retention I'm looking for. Now, you in the real estate game, if you over-deliver, they become your brand ambassadors. Guess what they're going to say? Willie, stand on up, Willie. They're going to say, man, Willie did a good job of selling me that piece of property or put me in that house or whatever you're into. They're going to go start talking good about Willie, and then Willie going to get new customers based on that person telling his family, friends, the hair salon, the barber shop, bragging about your service that you did for them. Come on, Willie. Bad man, you. Give me some knuckles, Willie. Boom. What about the ladies? I get the ladies always. Huh? I got to do LA. All right, you two and you. Come on. Real quick. Come on, ladies. They said, I ain't screaming. I ain't got no ladies. Come on, hurry up. Come on. Come on, take a picture. Who going to take? Thank you. So, over-deliver. It's not enough in the marketplace just to deliver anymore. We have to over-deliver now so that we can get the retention we're looking for. So that's very, very important. And so I know when I started in the real estate game myself with Canyon, we formed a partnership because we were going into urban America because there wasn't a lot of people at that time in urban America. So we did an urban fund, and we went out to raise $300 million. And we got turned down a lot in the beginning. It took us 3 years to raise that $300 million because institutional capital was not ready for urban America. So we knocked down a lot of doors at that time. And sure enough, we got to finally the $3 million, but we bought some amazing properties. We bought the Transamerica building for $100 million, sold that for $200 million. Wait a minute. We bought so many incredible properties and took our game to a whole nother level, but we were very disciplined. Write that down. Very disciplined. And you have to make sure you vet these deals hard. Vet these deals hard. So make sure you've done all your homework, because that's the key. And sure enough for us, we did our homework, we vetted these properties, and our first fund, we did over 30% return. Everybody was happy. We then got a chance to go and raise $600 million. The market crashed, but we were smart enough to go from an owner's model to a renter's model. And that's what really saved us, because we were smart and said people can't now own their home, but they can rent. And so we went to that model, which helped us out a lot. And then we raised $1 billion, and we were very successful. Who lives in Austin, Texas? Anybody? You know the W in Austin? We put a few $100 million into that. The W in Hoboken, New Jersey, same thing. The Washington Hilton, who lives in Washington, D.C., same thing there. So we have I can take you through a list of properties. We own 3 properties in San Diego downtown, on and on and on. And we were very successful with our real estate fund. I love real estate, I love being in it. At the same time, you gotta work really hard. So make sure you stay positive and you work really hard. But we were successful. And from that, I got into sports teams and became very successful. But the first thing I did, write this down, you gotta get some mentors. Mentors, if I tell you anything, you don't listen to nothing else I say. Mentors, mentors, and mentors. Dr. Jerry Buss, the owner of the Lakers, helped me so much to believe in myself that I could actually do this. That's the key right there, that I could become a businessman after playing basketball. And so we worked close together. He was just teaching me every single day. And I broke all the rules too, because at that time, the athlete and owner was separate. And you wasn't supposed to fraternize with the owner. But I said, I'm gonna fraternize with this rich man. I don't want him to teach me. I don't care what none of these players say. I'm trying to get some knowledge. We gonna sit down and talk. So I used to go to lunch, dinner with him all the time. And this is what I've learned. And this is very important. He said, Urban, you got to show up at a lot of conferences and dinners and luncheons and breakfasts that you don't want to go to. You got to build your Rolodex of relationships with people. In Urban, you got to be there on time, because the people who have the power and the information show up early. That's why I'm never late to anything. I'm always early. I was in the back talking today. I had so much fun with all the families that I met just then, back before I came out on the stage. It was truly a blessing for me. I was able to learn something. And Dan and I just think about 2 pro athletes who are now businessmen. Give it up for that, because that's a blessing up there. That is a blessing. I mean, who would ever think him a pro football player, me a pro basketball player, and here we are today at a business conference of his company. That is truly a blessing. So let me give you this. If he can do it, and if I can do it, you can definitely do it. You can definitely do it. Don't let nobody define you and your company. So you can't do that. I've never let anybody define what I can become outside of basketball. Everybody said, no way you can become a successful businessman. And I love proving people wrong. Come on, little man. Come on, get a shot. Yep, you. Come on. I like kids, so you know you don't have to get a shot. You gotta go tell everybody you were hanging out with the Magic Man. All right, cool. How old are you?
12.
Where you from?
Belfast.
Okay. Who brought you here?
My whole family.
Well, the whole family. All right. Come on. Where we looking, right here? Come on now. Swing with him, you take it. Come on, I'll get all young people. All right, now, hold up. Come on, you know what you gotta do to it. Get up real high. Man, people are too good today. Come on, big fella. Oh, yeah. I'm not messing with you no more. Give it up for them. Wow. What a blessing. It's up to you to decide what you want. Write this down. What do you want your brand to stand for? Ooh. What do you want your brand to stand for? Now I'm going to tell you what my brand stands for. Excellence, best in class. What do you want your brand to stand for? Very important. If you're late for meetings, you know what your brand going to stand for? Ooh. If you're not professional, you know what your brand going to stand for? What do you want your brand to stand for? When you're on that plane, that's one of the questions I want you to ask yourself. What do I want my brand to stand for? I'm going to tell you something. You can lose money, but if your brand goes down here and doesn't stand for anything, you can't recover. You'll never be able to recover. You got to always keep your brand up here. You can lose deals and recover, but not your brand. That's why you see a lot of people who are out of business will never be able to get back in business. You know, when the customer service is bad at restaurants, you'd be like, I'm not going back to that restaurant. Right? Now that guy's brand is, whoop. So what do you want your brand to stand for? And this is where over-deliver come from. Here it is right here. I'm going to sum this up to you, and then Dan and I are going to get some questions, but I want you to understand what happened. I'm in the food service business. My company is called Sodexo Magic. I always wanted to have a Disney contract, because if you have a Disney contract, everybody look at you like, okay, you got a good company then. If Disney take you, you good. So I knew, stand on up, my man. What's your name? So Gene, I knew my company was not ready to go after that first Disney contract, so I passed because I couldn't over-deliver on the contract. So 3 years later, I put my company in a position so I will be ready for that contract when it came back up for renewal. Sure enough, I won that contract. Whoa. So right now, Mickey and Minnie eat my food at Disneyland. Right? Hold up. This is what's so cool about it. I took a team, they got 5 minutes to celebrate, and then we got to get back to business. See? Come here, sweetheart. Yeah, all kids. And I like kids. Come on. She's not a kid? Well, she's short. Come on. No, not you, the one right here. I was talking about her. Yes, you. She said, I'm not a kid. She, oh, you thought I was talking to you. Come on, young. Come on. I like all young people. Where's your camera at, baby? Somebody take a picture for her and send it to her. What's your name?
Lila.
Where you from?
Philadelphia.
Okay, you were about to say something else. What?
My parents are from Brazil.
From Brazil. I like Brazil. It's a beautiful place. But give me a high five. Give me a hug. Thank you. Okay, so this is what happened. The biggest contract was Disney World. So I told my team, if we over-deliver for 3 years, it'll put us in a position to win both contracts. Sure enough, I won both contracts. Now, I feed all the employees at Disney World and at Disneyland. We should clap for that, see? Yeah. Now, stop. Why did I say we should clap for that? I grew up poor. 6 sisters, 3 brothers. I'm an athlete in a poor family. So that meant I got to the dinner table late. A big family? Forget about it. There was nothing left but a piece of cornbread. Why did I say that? Because I didn't have poor dreams just because I grew up poor. Whoa, I can't hear you on that. See? Listen to this. If you don't dream it, you can't become it. Now wait, I'm gonna put it to you right here. Here we go. 16 years old, I said, hey, I met 2 African Americans in Lansing, Michigan who own buildings. And I said, wow, I didn't know that we could own buildings. So I idolized them, and one day I went up to them and said, hey, I want to be like you. Not only I want to play in the NBA, but I want to be a businessman. Will you give me a job cleaning one of your buildings? They said, yeah. So they had a building 7 floors in Lansing, Michigan. I cleaned that first 6 floors. We got to the 7th floor. It was the CEO's office. I bust in the door like I was the CEO. I start dreaming. I put my feet on the desk and reclined the seat back. And I pretend I had an assistant out front. Hit the intercom button. Julie, bring me some coffee and donuts and the day's paper. I stayed in that office for hours dreaming I was the CEO. Wait a minute. I was poor. 16 years old, I'm dreaming I'm the CEO. Even it over 40 years later, I am the CEO. See, so it's not just about your education, it's about also your belief in yourself that you could achieve at the highest level. Come on, get a picture with me. Yeah, you can get one, but I was talking to her, but you're going to get it too. Selfie. Reverse it. There we go. How are we going to do this picture? I don't see you. Where you at? There you are. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so, pardon. Okay, cool. And now, let me tell you some secrets about magic, why I'm successful. I'm a competitive guy. I hate to lose. He said, we all? Yeah, see, I hate to lose. I play my daughter. My wife tried to encourage me to play my daughter one-on-one. And I know who I am. I really don't want to play my daughter one-on-one. But when your wife tells you to do something twice, those who are married, all the husbands raise your hand. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. When she tells you twice, you better get to it. So I told my daughter, come on, we're going to go to 10. I let her get to 9. That was hard for me to do, but I let her get to 9. And then I crushed her. Oh, I'm not losing her, no. My mothers could come here right now. If there's a hoop on the stage, I would let my mother get to 9.5. I would. But then I would crush her too. I would love her, hug her. Sorry, Mom. But I don't like to lose to nobody. That's just who I am. I was just telling Dan, it was really funny. He asked me, when's the last time you played basketball in the back? I said, well, I haven't played in a long time, but last Sunday, it was a charity auction, so I auctioned myself off to play a guy one-on-one. And so I said, let me get there early because I hadn't shot in a long time. So we played around the world about 8 games in a row. He thought he was going to win.
Yeah.
That didn't happen. I'm competitive. Okay, that's one. Number 2 trait for a magic man, I'm disciplined. I wake up every morning, 4:30 in the morning. I go to the gym for 2 hours, and then I'm in the office all day. That's who I am. I love working. I love making things happen. That's who I am. I'm a disciplined man. But that's every part of my life. I'm a disciplined man. If you're gonna be in business, you have to be disciplined. What's your strategy? And stick to it. That's very important in business. If you have partners, spell out the roles, what everybody's going to do. And then over-deliver in your role. All my businesses, I have partners. So they say, Irvin, this is your role. I'm good at that. As long as the check come at the end, I'm good. Right? But don't step over into somebody else's role. That's where you mess up. Okay? So remember those things. So I know he's coming out. Where is he? Is he coming out? There he is. Give him a hand right quick. Now, I can't come up there because I like being with the people. You don't mind, do you?
I don't mind.
Because the name of the conference, what's the theme name?
Ignite. Ignite.
And then what else? Be the force. Yes. That's it right there. Be the force. That's okay. He the owner. He don't have to know. It's very important. Be the force. I'm the force. And I'm the force. Got it. I didn't have to know because I'm the speaker. I'm the force. And you know I love that because it's definitely up to you. Nobody's going to wake you up in the morning. See, and also remember this, money won't wake you up in the morning. Passion for what you do will wake you up in the morning. Remember that. Remember that. Remember that. You thinking money gonna wake? If you don't love what you do, I'm sorry. It's not gonna happen. Money happens after that. After the love of what you do. After execution of your business strategy. Execution of your business strategy. Go ahead.
I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
You talk a lot about the role of mentorship. I want to know, we'll start with one basketball question, then we'll get to some business questions. From a basketball standpoint, who is your biggest mentor, and what were maybe one or two of the lessons you learned from him?
Pat Riley was my mentor. The coolest coach ever born. Pat was a perfectionist like my college coach was. I think that Judd Heathcote and Pat Riley helped me out probably more than anybody. He said, Irvin, if you're gonna take that shot, you gotta work on that shot. Shoot it 200-300 times a day before practice and after practice. So sure enough, that's what we did. That's where I learned the hook shot. I kept working on it on a daily basis. I always wanted to improve. I always wanted to get better. And Pat Riley pushed me to be great. And what he did was, he drove me crazy, okay? So this is what he did to me, everybody. So I got to the arena 3 or 4 hours before the game, so it just be myself, Pat Riley, and his assistant Bill in the locker room. Because you're not supposed to get to a game until an hour and a half before the game. So I would get to the arena, I'm just chilling, really getting ready, getting myself ready mentally. And he'd be writing a game plan on the board. Well, the final of the Boston Celtic game just was announced. And so I'm sitting there and he would say, Bill, did you see what Larry Bird just did tonight? 40 points, 20 rebounds, and 9 assists. Wow, he did a great job. So now I'm steaming. He knew what he was doing. So an hour later, Chicago Bulls game go final. Bill, did you see what Michael Jordan just did? 55 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists. Woo, that Jordan is something else, Bill. See, he knew that was going to motivate me to go out and have a big game. Because who did I want to keep up with? Larry Bird and Michael Jordan. Now, hold on. In business, I wanted to be like Bob Johnson. Mr. Johnson, who owned Jet Magazine. Who are you want to be like? Or who do you respect? See, make sure you get somebody who you say, hey, I want to be like that person. Not that you build your business like them, but you want to be successful like them. And what made them successful? So steal something from them. I took something from Bob Johnson and others. You know, everybody I'm in business with, I stole something from them. And that was very important. Peter Gruber, Michael Ovis, on and on and on. Go ahead.
Tell me, I saw an interview not too long ago with Maverick Carter, and he asked a brilliant question. And I loved your answer, and I would imagine most people haven't seen the interview. And it was about your relationship with Dr. Buss and the year you got hurt. And what you did, I thought, was an inspirational story about finding a mentor in Dr. Buss and studying the business of the Lakers. And what he did, I thought, was a class act. I love that story. Share the genesis of that.
Yeah, I got hurt, and now I'm out for the whole year. And I called him up and said, hey, can we have lunch at least once or twice a week? He said, Irvin, I'm going to do you one better. We're going to have lunch every day. So we met every day at his favorite Italian place. And he used to just break down business to me. So one day he walks in and said, you know what? It's time for you to learn real business. I'm going to open up the Laker books to you so let you learn how we really make money. And I was like, oh man. It was like a sponge. I'm just learning all this financial information that he just, out of the goodness of his heart, he just allowed me to learn everything there is about the Laker business, but just to learn business. And sure enough, from that, I was so ready to become a businessman because, see, I knew basketball, but I didn't know business. So I took my ego out of it and said, hey, I don't know business, but he was teaching me business. And then last but not least, once I learned business and I was saving my money at the same time, there was an opportunity for me to invest in the Lakers. And I took full advantage of that. So I invested in the Lakers, and everything was going great for 10 years up until Kobe was getting older. Listen to this. This is important. Write this down. What is your exit strategy? What is your exit strategy? Do you have a plan in place to exit, or are you going to be in it for a long, long time? So my exit strategy with the Lakers was when Kobe got older, the market value of the Lakers was high, and it was time for me to sell because once Kobe left, it was going to go down. So I sold at the peak, and I sold Starbucks at the same time. I'm sitting with hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars of cash, and who would ever thought that the Dodgers would be for sale? And this basketball player would lead a group of billionaires to buy the LA Dodgers. And so that was again, kid from the inner cities, grew up poor, and now he can say that he has a piece of the Dodgers. That's amazing. So again, dreams do come true. You must apply yourself. You must come to conferences like this, learn your craft, become an expert in your field, and as an owner of your business. Very important, very important. This conference is going to help you go to a whole nother level. And so I'm very impressed. I told him and his partners, I'm very impressed. So let's give it up for them one more time.
I'm interested, a lot of people may not know, obviously don't have to go into extensive detail, but at a high level, talk about the Dodger deal. It was a $2 billion deal.
Yep.
It's one of the biggest ever.
Yep.
Talk about what opportunity did you see there at a high level, kind of break it down.
Okay, so everybody looked at how much we paid for the Dodgers, which was $2 billion, actually over $2 billion. But what we didn't look at, it was really not only a team play, but a real estate play. The Dodgers sits on 300 acres of land. The 300 acres are worth what we paid for the team, and more. So you have to remember, that's the sweet part of this deal. And then what people didn't realize too, our TV contract was coming up in 2 years. So that TV deal now is $9 billion. Wow. Wait a minute, we paid 2 for it. The TV deal is $9 billion. The 300 acres of land is worth over $2 billion. So we okay. But let me say why. See, we turned the franchise around. We were in the middle of the pack in attendance when we bought the team. For 7 straight years, we've led MLB in attendance. Over 42,000 fans a night. So that's what we're proud of. Put money into the stadium, taking the stadium up to another level. And then we listen to millennials. See, we did a survey and we got better as businessmen. And I'm gonna tell you how. Millennials said, we want to come see the Dodgers, but we also want to have a good time with our friends. So we built a pavilion out in right field. It is packed every single game. They're looking halfway at the game, but they're enjoying their friends and talking and socializing more. But that's okay. They're paying customers. They're having a good time. But we listened to them that they wanted a spot that they could just hang out with their friends and have a good time. So that was another revenue stream for us. And so that's what it's all about. Understanding your customer and over-delivering to your customer. Listening to your customer and over-delivering to your customer. And then that comes back to you in your pocket.
I got, because a lot of people in this room have transitioned or thinking about transitioning or may consider transitioning from corporate America or a corporate job or professional job to being a full-time real estate investor.
Right.
So I'm interested, you know, you told a story once and I think people would benefit from hearing it. Talk about your transition from retiring from the game, the conversation you had with your wife, what that transition looked like.
Well, Cookie was the best. You know, what's your name again with the Michigan State thing on? John. So the Red Cedar, we were over there by her dorm, and I saw these jeans John walk by. And I said, I got to meet the lady that's in them jeans. So I started running. And I caught up with her, and she was just as sweet. And so Cookie and I have been together 40 years. Married over 28 years. So the greatest moment happened when I announced HIV, 28 years ago. Wow. And it was devastating because, you know, I thought I was going to be playing that basketball game forever. And when the doctor told me I had to retire, that just destroyed me for a minute. So the hardest thing I thought I had to do in my life was play basketball against Larry Bird and Michael Jordan, but the hardest thing I had to do was actually drive home and tell my wife I had HIV, not knowing what she was going to do. So when I got to the door, told her I had HIV, she began to cry, and at that time she was pregnant with our son EJ. And it just hurt me so bad. When you see your wife crying, that just hurts you, and that you can't do anything about it. So I began to tell her that I understand if she wants to leave. And she said no, and she hit me with a Mike Tyson right cross. And she said, we're gonna beat this together. So since that moment in time, because I had her, the support system, I've been able to live a healthy, good life. But what happened, oh, thank you. But I was feeling sorry for myself, so I sat on that couch for 2 weeks, feeling sorry for myself. So she came home, I remember like it was yesterday. It was like on that start of that week, on that Monday, and she said, get out. So I'm looking around, who's she talking to? You know? She said, I'm talking to you. I want you to get out this house, and when you come back, you be the man that I married. You had dreams and goals beyond basketball, and now you should get started with your dreams and goals. And she was the one who actually jump-started my business career by telling me, get out and let's go. We were sitting up at the dorms at Michigan State talking about how I was going to do all this stuff after basketball, be a businessman, own these buildings, da-da-da. And now, since I'm retired from basketball, she was like, now it's time to get started with that. So that was a blessing for me. I'm glad that you brought that up, because a lot of times what happens, everybody, you're going to have bad days, or you may have a bad week. But thank God, hopefully somebody's there to pick you back up and get you pointed back in the direction you should be going in, right? And that's what Cookie did for me. And now that, but it's did it for us, so it's great.
This is a question that you might get a little emotional about.
Okay.
I just want to prepare you ahead of time.
Okay.
It's a question. It's a question about failure and learning to deal with failure. So, like to lose the last time you and I played one-on-one.
You know, we played one-on-one, and you know, I had to let him win. That's why you know I'm lying, right? But, all right, now, this is what I want to do right quick. All right, everybody get up. Everybody get up. Put your phones in your pocket or on the seat. Let's